Hsin Hsin Ming by Hsin Hsin, the third Zen patriarch or ancestor, who was the student of Bodhidharma student who cut off his arm as a display of sincerity, and he subsequently had, according to legend, a student who compiled this testament of his practice and realization. And this, for me, was a eye-opener. I happened to just accidentally come across this at a bookstore. I had just attended a gathering, open-air gathering at the Olima Vedanta Center in Marin, California, at which there were numerous teachers, including Dharma Master Xuan Hua of the City of 10,000 Buddhas, who I'd never heard of. I'd never heard of any of them except Hsin Smith was there. I'm wondering if I knew who he was at the time. I'm not sure. But I've since looked up the teacher Xuan Hua, whose teacher was the Shu Yun in China, who lived to 100 and something years old, and apparently did the bowing pilgrimage for some 1,000 miles across China, and left a fascinating biography, a chronology of his Dharma life year by year, which I read parts of. So I had just come from this gathering, having seen this lineage of teachers up, and I don't remember any of what was talked about, except I did notice this elderly Chinese person in robes with an American attendant interpreting him. Evidently, this attendant is now has his own Buddhist temple in Berkeley, and which I haven't yet been to, but has a web presence. And I do remember an elderly man in the audience standing up and asking Xuan Hua a question in Chinese, and this man was Hsin Smith, who has since passed. And Xuan Hua passed some 2 or 3 years after this gathering. So after seeing this gathering, I then drove into San Rafael from Olima and went to this spiritual bookstore, Open Secret, and they had this right by the cash register for $2, just a collection of them. And I thought, yeah, it looks $2. And I'd never heard of it. I don't remember what I knew about the Zen tradition at the time, except for D.T. Suzuki and feeling he was quite impenetrable, until I came across the 3 pillars of Zen book. Anyway, I took this, started doing retreats, and this was with me on a 5-day retreat where I stayed up most of the night one night and had a Kensho experience, and then read this in the morning, like 4 a.m. And it seemed to be like a new meaning to it, every line. And especially the cover just resonated after Kensho. It really expressed the feeling of walking out into this new world. And what is nice about this whole scripture is it's complete it's so modern. It has a complete lack of mythology and reference to sutras or historical context. It's very Taoist. It just talks about the Great Way, mentions no teachers, and it's, very appealing to the scientific mind who just wants a clear statement of what the hypothesis is and how to verify it if you so choose. And the beginning is quite famous. The Great Way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. And it's become a saying, me and a friend, to say it's, for those who have no preferences. It's this judging, this attraction and aversion that cloud the Great Way. The smallest distinction that resonated with me, having read, numerous books on quantum physics and the delicacy of the quantum transition, the smallest distinction, the quantum transition. You make one distinction of measurement and the entire universe. Heaven and earth are set infinitely apart. So if you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinions for or against anything. This is very scientific. If you wish to see the truth, just cease cherishing your opinions. I mean, how scientific can you get? It's just the method of science is uncovering our opinions and our anthropocentrism, that we are the center of the universe, or the sun revolves around us. One by one, all these cherished opinions are examined and discarded, and what is left is reality. So if the eye never sleeps, all dreams will naturally cease. If the mind makes no discriminations, the 10,000 things are as they are, of single essence. This is the Schrödinger wave function not collapsing. Then all the superposition of all wave functions is just one wave function. It's such a delicate balance, though. A single measurement sets the universe, heaven and earth, infinitely apart. To live in this realization is to be without anxiety about non-perfection. In other words, seeing the suffering and the phenomena, the ugliness and the beauty of the world does not cause anxiety. It is as it is.